This is it. So this is called the Qualifier 2-in-1. I've put them on one bike so far for a customer. He saw mine. I've been keeping this on the shelf for months since I started the video series. I'm excited. This is the time to finally put them on. It's really two pieces. This is pretty straight through design. Apparently you need to drop the bike to the ground. You can't do it on the lift, and turn the wheel all the way to get the exhaust on there. We loosened the oil cooler, and that will enable us to get the exhaust all the way in. That worked. It was really a tight fit, and it just wasn't gonna happen with the wheel the way it was with the tire. I'm gonna start a couple of bolts, and then I'm gonna put it back on the lift, because I don't like squatting on the ground like this. I think we're ready. Fire this thing up. Let me pull you off and we'll give you a little tour around here. All right, there's the yellow headlight. You get a good look at the exhaust. You can see how tight it fits in here. So you can really see why it was a bit of a struggle to get it around the oil cooler and just sweeping right in next to it. But I really like the look of it because it's metal. It's not chrome coated because chrome is tough. You have to have it if you get a chip in it or a little bit of rust or whatever, you have to have it recoated. We could brighten that up. We could take Scotch-Brite to it. We can polish this whole thing. It's just a raw material. So that is something I really like. It looks very racy. Kind of give you a step back here. That's a great first step. The two parts of this that are involved is this, and this one's actually from Hitchcock's. This is a cool Royal Enfield accessory company. They actually have been doing the vintage stuff. I buy all my vintage stuff from them too, but just this aluminum cover, they call it alloy, allows the air to go in more freely. You'll see, it'll be obvious. And then K&N air intake, just triangle. So it just goes in like this, covers it like that. Makes a huge difference. Honestly, if you don't have the money to do the exhaust, I would do the air intake first. So you can see the stock air box or air snorkel is just very restrictive. And they do that for emissions, but it goes in here and then it's even smaller, and then that's how the stock air filter, basic same design as the K&N, but a lot more surface area, a lot better flow. Plug it in there, makes a good seal. And like I said, this makes a huge difference. I mean, you can literally hear it on the stock bike if you just do the air intake. You can hear it get a deeper tone. You can hear it sucking in from this area, getting a lot more air. It's huge. Sounds awesome. It's not too loud. It's pretty brappy. It's racy, but it's not like, it doesn't sound wrong. It doesn't sound like the wrong motorcycles. Let's take it for a spin.
Here we are. It's the next day. It's the morning. I'm driving to work, and my very first impression is the bike feels so much lighter. You can add more power, but nothing beats taking off weight, and those stock exhausts are very, very heavy. They have the catalytic converters built in, and they're just very big, and taking that off makes a huge difference. The bike just feels a lot more nimble, especially, like I said, I've ridden a lot of stock Interceptors, and compared to those, this just feels like there's a lot less of it. We get a little bit of a acceleration there. The power difference is immediate. I mean, I think my front wheel might have come up a little bit there. I mean, it's crazy. It's so brappy is the word, where this turns the Interceptor from a kind of mild-mannered gentleman's British bike to a hooligan. It really gives it a lot more angry character, and it just sounds great. It's not, the funny thing is, when I'm cruising like this, or let me go up a gear, you can't even hear it. It's kind of crazy the difference, where at idle it is not at all obnoxious. When you really open it up, it has a really good sound. I mean, you'd think from a race only exhaust that it would be too much on the street, but not at all. The exhaust is it's around $800 to $900 for this one that I have, the race only one. The official street use one is actually a lot more. It's like $1,300. That makes it tough to make a choice. I don't want the race only one. I'm gonna follow the rules, have the street version, and you're basically paying that extra $450 just for that compliance. So if you're near California or a place where maybe it gets inspected or something, then maybe you don't have a choice. But here in Ohio, nobody is ever going to look at that or notice that or care or know enough to care. So for me, it doesn't make any sense to pay more money and get that other one. The stock is still pretty limited. Every time I look, they only have a handful. It's awesome. I'm sure the K&N air filter makes a huge difference. Like I said, if you're just going to do one thing, that's what I would do. The free flow air filter makes a huge difference. Man, this thing is so quick. What I wanted to mention was how quick that throttle response is. I mean, you could just see, it's not something I thought like the stock bike was lacking. Like I thought like, oh, it's so slow to rev up, but the changes suddenly make it just jump up in RPM, which is nice. And I'm also noticing, I don't know if you can quite hear it on the video or whatever, but there's a little pop on decel. Like you hit the throttle, let off quickly, and you can hear a little pop. I know the other one that I've driven that we did for a customer with this exhaust had more of that, so I think the popping like starts to come on. It's cool. It makes a cool noise. It sounds very racy. Do a little acceleration here. So quick through here. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for this video. I'm almost to the shop. If you have any questions about this exhaust, look us up and Throttle Company on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, here on YouTube. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.